Good evening, everyone. I would like to call the June 9th, 2025 Hilliard City Council regular meeting to order. Ms. Vermillion will provide an invocation, and then we ask that you stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you, President Catone. June marks several important days, as well as some whimsical commemorations. Did you know today is National Donald Duck Day and National Strawberry Rhubarb Pie Day? In June, we commemorate Emancipation Day, also known as Juneteenth. The Islamic New Year is marked this month, as well as Eid. The anniversary of the 1969 Stonewall riots comes at the end of June, which subsequently led to observing June as Pride Month. I hope as a society we can take difficult events from our history and turn them into positive areas for a brighter and just future. Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dee, will you please call the roll?
Mr. Betts?
Here.
Mr. Carrier? Ms. Cole's excused. Ms. Hale?
Here.
Vice President Teeter?
Here.
Ms. Vermillion?
Here.
President Catone?
Here. Council has copies of the May 27, 2025 special executive session and regular meeting minutes. Are there any changes or corrections? Hearing none, those meetings stand approved. We will go into commission and board reports. Board of Zoning Appeals, Greg Betts.
Yes, the next meeting is June 26th at 7 p.m. in these chambers.
Thank you. Destination Hilliard, Cynthia Vermillion.
Nothing to report other than, again, go to destinationhilliard.org for everything that's happening this summer.
Thank you. Cynthia Vermillion, Environmental Sustainability Commission.
We meet this coming Wednesday at 5:45 here at the building. Also, I wanted to bring everyone's attention to a SWACO pilot program for used clothing and things like towels that are too used to, take to the thrift stores, but they may be sitting at the bottom of your closet because you're like, I don't want to put them in the landfill. Well, SWACO's doing a pilot program where they are taking these through August, and they will be used to make certain items, which I can't remember what they are now, but anyway, so there are certain drop-off locations. The closest one to us here in Hilliard will be at the Upper Arlington Public Service Center at 4100 Roberts Road, so very close, and they're doing that through the end of August, I believe.
Thank you. Greg Betts, Keep Hilliard Beautiful.
So on 31 May, the Keep Hilliard Beautiful hosted a litter cleanup event at the Tin Apple Plaza, and there were 24 volunteers who collected 27 bags of trash and 1 bag of recyclable material. So big shout out to all those volunteers who took the time out of their Saturday to help us keep Hilliard beautiful. And the next volunteer cleanup day is Saturday, June 21st from 9 to 11 at the Advanced Drainage Systems parking lot, which is at 4671 Raindrop Way. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mr. Rowley, do you have anything on MORPC?
No updates.
All right, thank you. Planning and zoning, Emily's not here. Public arts, that's me. A reminder that there'll be an unveiling celebration at Hilliard Station Park this Thursday for the new statue, and the timing on that will be at the break from the band that plays. So it'll be between 7:30 and 7:40. So I hope you can come out and see that. And next, Rec and Parks Advisory Commission, Peggy Hale.
We meet this Wednesday.
Thank you. And Aging in Place Committee, we meet tomorrow at 1 p.m. here in Council Chambers. All right, it doesn't look like we have any guests, except for someone coming in now. Okay. Are there any changes to the agenda? All right, there are 2 items on the consent agenda this evening. 24R41, accepting sanitary sewer public improvements for Hill Farm Section 2, Phases 1 and 2, and 25R42, reappointing members to the City of Hilliard Tax Incentive Review Council. Does anyone want to move either of these items to the regular agenda? All right, then I'll entertain a motion and second to approve the consent agenda by voice vote. Second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. All right, this is the public portion of the meeting, and do we have, anyone signed up?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Okay, we're then moving on to the business of council. We have, I think, one second reading. Dee, will you please read Ordinance 2515 by title only?
Amending Chapter 753 of the city's Codified Ordinances regarding regulations for mobile food vehicles.
Thank you. This is the second reading, public hearing on this ordinance. Has anyone signed up to speak, or is there anyone in attendance who would like to speak?
Ma'am?
All right, thank you. Does council have any further questions? Cynthia?
Thank you. I did follow up with Mr. Rowley on the electric generator question, and it is felt that for powering some of the larger needs, that it's probably more expensive to have that electric generator. So I did talk to Ms. Clodfelder about some possible language, not requiring them, but just encouraging if they're able to. So I have some language that I'd like to propose for amending the ordinance to include, to further reduce noise impact and other environmental impacts, all mobile food vehicles should consider the use of electric generators. If an electric generator is utilized, this generator must also be placed on the side of the vehicle that faces away from any adjacent business or public space. So it's encouraging rather than requiring, but just puts it on their mind to try to consider that.
Do you know if there's any energy rebates or anything that they could do, or if the city offers any incentives for them to invest in an electric generator?
I don't know.
I'm not aware of any incentives for electric generators.
That's a good question.
I like the wording.
So
Do we,
I guess I make a motion formally to put that on the floor.
yeah,
Second.
Peggy seconded it.
Yeah, I second.
Okay, so is this a voice vote, Dee? All in favor? Nothing?
Roll call.
Roll call.
You're
Okay,
amending-
3 is a
You're amending
charm.
a piece of legislation.
Exactly, so it's a motion to amend
Okay.
the language that Cynthia, or Councilmember Vermillion, provided.
And I've got Ms. Clodfelder's email, and this would be added, if there's a definition that you would want to add to the generator use, generators. I'm trying to. So it would be on this page right here.
Right.
So is he part of that section 1 or I?
Right, so it would take, the way that Ms. Clodfelder drafted it in her correspondence with Councilmember Vermillion was to, this Division I would be headed generators, and then you would have Subdivision 1, which is the paragraph you have currently, starting with all mobile food vehicles, and then there would be paragraph 2, which is the text that Councilmember Vermillion read. So just formatting wise, that's how we would break it out.
Okay. Okay.
Good.
Think so.
Yes.
Yes.
Carrier?
Yes.
Mr. Betts?
Yes.
Vice President Teeter? President Catone?
Yes.
Passed 6-0. Now you need to do a roll call or a motion to pass the amended version.
Okay,
Yeah, second reading.
right. Dee, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Hale?
Yes.
Mr. Carrier? Vice President Teeter? President Catone?
Yes?
Mr. Betts?
Yes.
Ms. Vermillion?
Yes.
Passed 6-0.
Ordinance 25-15 has passed and will be in effect at the earliest date allowable by law. Okay. There are no more second readings. There are no first readings. We'll go on to resolutions. Dee, will you please read Resolution 25R43 by title only?
Authorizing city manager to enter into an agreement with Tesco Transportation Equipment Sales Corporation to purchase a replacement bus for the Recreation and Parks Department.
Would a council member like to sponsor and adopt?
So moved. Oh, second.
Ed?
Good evening, members of council. This resolution authorizes an expenditure of just over $200,000 with Tesco, the Transportation Equipment Sales Corporation, for a 2026 Ford F-650 StarTran Senator 2 HD. It's a 32-passenger lift-enabled transportation bus. This bus will replace our current large transportation bus that was purchased in 2004 and has been well used. We went out with an RFP process for this purchase. Concluded on May 15th. We had 3 different vendors that submitted quotes for this RFP, and several staff went through and rated the quotes, and Tesco was the clear winner, not only with price, but then the trade-in value for the current unit. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have at this time.
I have a question. So is this, this isn't the senior bus? This is the senior bus? Okay, great. All right.
Yeah, we've been in this process for about 2-3 years now. Is when we started it. We were coming right out of the COVID. There was some supply chain issues, and then the prices shot up dramatically for these. So with that, now we're able to purchase, especially the drivetrain, and have the bus converted,
Okay, thank you.
built.
Other questions, Cynthia?
Thank you. Do we feel that the 32 passenger is large enough to accommodate our needs?
Yes, it's a few larger than what we currently have. I think the current bus is 28 passengers and doesn't have the ability to it's not lift enabled.
Oh, okay. Because I saw it comes in like a 45 passenger variety as well, right?
Yeah, you get into some problems with our trips of having too many people signed up for those trips. So there's a sweet spot in some of the places that they go where too many people is an issue. And you start getting into those larger numbers, you get into a heavy-duty diesel semi-chassis that jacks up the price even more.
Got it. Thank you.
Any other questions?
Is it going to be blue?
I'm sure there'll be some blue in there. More than likely, it'll be white with some type of graphics scheme,
Okay, but the Hilliard logo will go on it. Okay,
for sure.
it looks nice online.
Anyone else? Thank you. Dee, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Hale?
Yes.
Ms. Vermillion?
Yes.
President Catone?
Yes?
Mr. Betts?
Yes.
Vice President Teeter? Mr. Carrier? Passed 6-0.
Thank you. Resolution 25R43 has passed and is in effect at the earliest date allowable by law. Dee, will you please read Resolution 25R44 by title only?
Adopting a tentative tax budget for the city of Hilliard for the fiscal year 2026.
Would a council member like to sponsor and adopt?
So moved.
Second.
Greg?
Good evening, members of council. As is required every year at this time, this piece of legislation adopts a tentative tax budget for 2026. Happy to answer any questions you might have.
Cynthia?
Well, I was hoping maybe we could look at the actual attachments that you provided and maybe talk a little bit about those?
Okay.
These, Cynthia?
That's just the overview, and then looking at revenue, we have the actual 23, 24 here, revenue. What's current for 25, what has been appropriated for 25, and then we estimated making certain adjustments. For instance, right now, income tax is up around, and we're only looking at like 3 months, so I think we're up 9% in March and about 6% in April. So we're estimating we'll be around 5%. That's what we've used the last couple of years. And then a lot of the other ones, we've estimated an increase about 3% in the revenue. So a total for 26, a little over 39 million is revenue for the general fund. And then on B2, talks about our expenses. Again, you can look at the first columns are actual for 23, actual for 24, and then what we've appropriated for 25. And then, and again, this is tentative, so we're not really getting into the budget yet until later this summer. But we looked like between 3 or 4% increase in personnel services, and everything else we kept pretty much the same. And then, so it looks like it's coming in at like a little over 36 million in expenses. So we were going to have a surplus of revenue of about 2.8 million, which is a balanced budget, and that's what the state looks for. And then in Exhibit 3, those are a listing of all our funds, looking at the beginning of the year and what we budgeted coming in and what what we expect and what we've budgeted or appropriated. And again, all of them are positive, all the funds are positive. And then it looks like we're looking at an ending estimated unencumbered balance of about 20 million. Exhibit 4 has to deal with what we, in the capital budget, what we appropriated, what we estimated in permanent improvements during the year. That has to be reported. It's a little over 19 million. Now these aren't, again, this doesn't count for, as it says at the top, do not include expenses paid from bond issues. So that's why, we have quite a bit over that because of course, the bonds, for the well that we, so this is 19, it's regarding revenue that we're using. And then the last sheet looks at our debt through 25. Looks like inside millage, it's just under 49 million at the beginning of the year. And then the well is the outside millage that's at the end of the year was at 74,700,000. Is there any other questions or anything else you'd like explained, or you have any questions regarding this budget?
Do we ever pay any of the bonds early, or like if they're due on December 1st, 32, that's when they get paid?
Yeah, we pay them, we pay them twice a year. The first part of the year we pay interest, beginning of July. And then at the end of the year we pay whatever's due on the amortization schedule for principal and interest, the second half interest. Now there are times when we will look at a couple of times in the bond issue, say it's a 30-year bond, where the interest rates might drop, and we might refund bond, we do refunding bonds so we can save money. At this time, we haven't faced that in a few years, just because the rates have been higher than they have been when we got a lot of the bonds. But we continually look at that, and as rates, if they do come down, we will look into that, so we can pay them off early.
Thank you.
Any other questions?
Oh, yeah. It has been dropping. I mean, we've dropped the last couple of years $1 million off of our debt principal payments. So we've paid some of these off, which is a good thing. Just the only thing is we just a couple of years ago we had that $85 million bond that we took on. So it's going to be a while before we, start coming down, but it comes down about $4 million a year on that $85 million bond. So.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Thanks, Greg. Dee, will you please call the roll?
Ms. Vermillion,
Yes.
Mr. Betts,
Yes.
Ms. Hale,
Yes.
President Catone,
Yes.
Mr. Carrier, Vice President Teeter, passed 6-0.
Resolution 25R44 has passed and is in effect at the earliest date allowable by law. Dee, will you please read 25R45 by title only?
Appointing a member to the Board of Trustees of the Hilliard Community Authority.
Would a council member like to sponsor and adopt? Second. Staff report on this?
We have nothing to add to the staff report that's in the packet.
Okay. Does council have any questions? All right. Dee, will you please call the roll?
Vice President Teeter, President Catone,
Yes?
Mr. Carrier, Mr. Betts, Ms. Vermillion,
Yes.
Ms. Hale,
Yes.
passed 5-1.
Resolution 25R45 has passed and is in effect at the earliest date allowable by law. We have no more resolution. This concludes the legislative portion of the agenda. So we'll move on. I wanted to let everyone know that this past Saturday at the annual Hilliard Pride event, which was held at Hilliard Station Park, I had the privilege of presenting a proclamation declaring June 2025 as Pride Month in the city of Hilliard. The event was very well attended and brought together residents and visitors for a day filled with celebration, community, and connection. Pride Month is a time to celebrate love, diversity, and equality within the LGBTQ+ community. Across the country and right here in our own community, people are coming together to recognize and stand united in the pursuit of a more inclusive future. The city reaffirms its commitment to our diverse community where everyone is welcomed, valued, and included. I would like to remind everyone, separate topic now, that the office will be closed on June 19th for Juneteenth.
Can I?
Yes, please.
I just want to publicly congratulate and thank the volunteers that organized the Hilliard Pride event. This was the 5th year. I thought the first year one was great, but it gets a little bit better every year. And the organization is just impeccable. And I know a lot of hard work goes into that. And they pulled off a great event. And I was really proud of Hilliard. And I had many, many people come up and say it was just a well-run event. It was really nice. So thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Rowley, do you have any updates?
No updates.
Okay. Does council have any other items for discussion? All right. Is there a motion and a second to adjourn the meeting?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, same sign. This meeting is adjourned.